What's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. So we're taking a look at Evil West here on the Steam Deck, a game I've been looking forward to jumping into and was hoping it would play well on the Steam Deck. And after a good bit of work, I did get it very playable here, and hopefully we'll get some patches as well in the future to help smooth things out. But let's get into it. Anyways, those settings we start with here are just the medium preset, no motion blur, and FSR off. And I do get a lot of stutters and frame dips and hitches and just general little issues and problems throughout the game. Even if I've already played an area or whatever, it just doesn't want to play really well here. I'm not forcing any compatibility here either. This was just out of the box, but even if I tried Proton Experimental and some others, it just wasn't really working out. So let's go ahead and get into this here a little bit more. So like I said, I did get into trying these other Proton layers, and GE Proton 41 is the one I wound up landing on that gave me the best performance right now on Steam Deck with Evil West. So that's kind of what I recommend giving a shot if you're having problems. If you're not, don't fix what isn't broken. Now, in order to get this, if you don't already know, you need to go to desktop mode, open your Discovery app, and then you'll be able to search for Proton or Proton Up QT in here and have that pop up for you in the search. So once you're done with that, you can go ahead and get it downloaded. So it should pop up in your search for you. You click on that, install it if you don't have it already, and then launch it. Once you launch it, you'll be able to install the GE Proton compatibility layer you want, which in this case is the newest one at time I'm making this video, 41. So I'll launch this here. You would click add version. It's going to come up with GE Proton tool up here, and then you're going to be able to pick your version, which we're going to have 41 in this video. So click that. I already have it installed, but you would click install, wait for it to finish. Then you need to restart Steam for it to take effect. So I'll just restart the Steam Deck and go back into game mode. So that's what I wound up using, GE Proton 41, and you can see here I do have VSync on and stuff here too, but to help with screen tearing, but everything is nice and smooth, not too much trouble. Now other areas of the game will dip more in FPS, but the frame times are much better, and you're not seeing those huge spikes and stutters, and it pretty much stays that way throughout different areas of the game that I've tested, which was nice to see. Even in other areas I hadn't been in, or different particle effects, just kind of trying to push things a little bit here and there. Ultimately, this compatibility layer really did make just a big difference for me before even going in and capping frame rate or changing even more settings or anything. This just instantly helped solve a lot of the little different frame time issues I was personally having. Now, with all these same settings jumping into the boss battle, there's so much going on screen. There are times that it had issues here and dipped and didn't use all the GPU and just had its own little problems. Some of this could be game related. I do believe we need a patch for some issues I'm seeing here, but also some of it could be drivers in the deck and just things the way they're working here with the compatibility layer, but nothing game breaking or major. This was a nice improvement. Now let's take a look at all the different graphic settings really quick. This is low. I know you guys like to see these sometimes, so just sitting still, hanging out in this one spot so you can see the difference. This would be our low setting right here, which I don't really recommend needing to use. This would be our medium setting that we've been showing mostly in the video, which I think is a sweet spot for the game, especially with capped FPS. Going over to highs, where we'll see more graphic fidelity, of course, but a bigger drop in frames. And when you get into some busy areas of the game, you're going to have a lot more dips and struggle. I don't really recommend going above medium, but you give your high a shot if you want. And then epic, of course, is going to be the hardest. And again, you will drop and have some issues later on. I pretty much just want to stick with medium in this game myself, but whatever you guys want to do, we'll go ahead and switch back over here into medium. Now, what I also want to show you is what if I go in and turn FSR on. It works pretty well in this game for the most part. I'll put quality on here and you'll see an instant nice little jump to our FPS. A good little jump actually, and FSR does make a good difference depending on which you're using, quality, ultra quality, balanced performance, and all that. But image quality you gotta watch. You'll start to see the shimmering and the issues or the blurriness, so just watch out for those issues you can get depending on how high you're going with FSR. But if you're needing to smooth out some frame rates or save some system resources here or there on your GPU with resolution, or you're docked and you're trying to get some performance, your 1080 or whatever, this will help you out. Now we can also go in and turn this back off, and we'll drop back down, because what I want to do is get into the deck's 40 Hz mode, which is something I really do like on this device. The 40 Hz mode can be so nice for a lot of different games, and it definitely works well for this game, for battery life and other things. So let's go in here. I'm going to change this over to the 40 Hz mode, which kind of messes with my capture card since the last update, but we're still putting out 800p here on the game, and it doesn't change anything with our performance. So 40 hertz mode, 40 FPS cap works really, really well in this game, especially with the GE Proton Layer 41. So those two things combined already help a lot with the performance and everything here with the game. Now, when I'm getting into battles with these same settings here, so everything stays pretty nice. This is still FSR off, medium settings, cap to 40, and everything stays pretty good here. No major complaints. I think that's probably the way a lot of people would want to play the game, to help save with battery and with performance. But I don't know, as a PC gamer, I do like variable refresh rate as well. Now, here's another spot I want to show you guys one more thing. I've been tinkering with the game a little bit, and I changed a couple more things. Post-processing, I put to low, and effects, I put to low, just to see if it would help with some of those dips when a lot kind of happens on screen. And then I put FSR to ultra quality, just kind of barely turning that on to see what I could get here at 40. And I also went in and changed things here. We stayed at the 40, but I've got the TDP to 11 just to see what that would do. Been messing with that, and half rate shading, again, just to help with battery and performance, and just kind of seeing what I could get. And ultimately, if you have a full battery, you can get 3 hours or more out of the game this way. So definitely don't hesitate to go in and play with your TDP a little bit, and half rate shading, play with your game settings, although I think medium is kind of where it's at. And FSR ultra quality or off works for 40 FPS. You could certainly push the game to 60 in many different areas as well. But guys, I'm excited to hear in the comments how you're running the game. Throw your tips down there for everybody on what's working best for you. Thanks a lot for coming to check out the video. As always, I really appreciate it. If you haven't already, thumbs up, subscribe, ring the bell, leave me your comments, and I'll see you in the next one.